You see, the second thing Mushoku Tensei taught me about purpose is that it's not something to be looked for. Now, Rudius didn't know his purpose in life would be to protect his family, right? At the beginning of the story, he was young. He was a child. He was a teenager. All he really cared about was right in front of him, his main goal. Think back to the turning points, right? At the beginning of the story, he was like, in volumes 2, he was trying to teach Ares to get money and then go to university with Sophie. That was his goal. He didn't think about his purpose in life. He didn't think about his main purpose in life that would bring him the most fulfillment when he dies. All he was thinking about was what I'm going to do a month from now. What am I doing now that's going to contribute to my goal in a few months? He didn't know his true core purpose until volumes 13, 14, 15, honestly. And he didn't spend months like I did looking for it like some treasure chest. You see, you don't find your purpose just by thinking about it. Mushoku Tensei made me realize that purpose was something you almost stumble upon later in your life. Think back on Rudius' life. His purpose was to serve his family. When did he finalize that? When did he tell himself that he's going to protect his family? Not when he was 15, not when he was in high school. When he was like 20, 21, 23. Teenagers shouldn't be looking for the purpose in life. It's absurd because well, I'll get into this later. But just know that as a teenager, you shouldn't be thinking about your core purpose in life. Rudius was trying to survive in his adolescence. He didn't even have the luxury of asking himself the question what his purpose in life was. When you're this young, you should be living your life and thinking about what your goal is going to be. Let's say in 2 months, you want to get $1,000 online. I'm not thinking so far as to try to discover my core purpose in life. I'm only thinking as far as my current purpose in life. Because when you're young, you can think of your life as temporary. You can think of your life in chapters with temporary purposes. And this is the third thing Mushoku Tensei taught me. I want you to think back on the turning points again. To me personally, these turning points simply changed the main goal of the story drastically. It went from saving up enough money to go to university with Sophie, right? That was the main goal. And then after turning point 1, why do you want the school? It went because you want money. Why do you want money? Because you want to have a comfortable life. And then after turning point 2, I'm not thinking about investing for the future. I'm thinking about 8, 9, 10, a comfortable life. His purpose was to have a nice family life with Sophie, right? And then volumes 11, 12, it went to trying to save his mom from the labyrinth. To then in volume 13, which was to have a peaceful life again. To then in 14, 15, fighting Orsted to try to save his family. To then allying with Orsted to fight Hitogami to save his family. And then that main goal never changed until volume 26. And what I want you to pay attention is change the main goal of the story. Change the word main goal to purpose. And then what you notice is that at first his purpose in life was to save up money to go to university with Sophie. And then his purpose changed to delivering Ares back. And then his purpose changed again to living a nice family. And then it kept changing until he finally landed on one that he would pursue until the day he died. And that one purpose, I will call his core purpose. I've been saying core purpose this whole video. This is what I mean. And when you start to analyze this process, it was almost like he created his end purpose. It was almost like all of his previous chapters, all of his previous purposes, the skills he developed from those culminated into his core purpose, which was to protect his family. And essentially, trying to find your purpose as a teenager is like trying to find that core purpose without doing any of the past purposes before. This is why it's absurd, because as teenagers, we like to think that we know ourselves, know what we like, know what we don't like. And in reality, we actually have no clue about what we are, who we are, how much pain we can endure and tolerate. Because just quickly close your eyes and just imagine, do you think Rudius would be protecting his family of 3 wives without having a single turning point before? Would he be allied with the most powerful person in the world, preparing for a war in 80 years? I don't think so. Because he needed those previous purposes, these previous chapters, to even discover his core purpose. If you want, I'll rephrase this. I'll sum it up. I'll sum it all up. Because I'll just say, your purpose in life, when you're young, when you're a teenager, it comes in chapters. It comes in periods of time. Maybe 3, 4 months, maybe even years. And as a teenager, you shouldn't be asking what your core purpose in life is. You should be asking what your current purpose in life is. If you want an analogy, you can think of your purpose in life as an onion. Stick with me here. Your core purpose is at the center of this onion. And right now, there's these layers of purposes over the onion, over the core purpose. And you have to break through these layers until you can reach that core purpose. Does that make sense? You could spend your entire life fantasizing, just thinking about being an F1 driver, and not even try to become one. Because you just wanted the result of being an F1 driver. You never desired the process of driving F1. Because remember, it's not about what you want to do. It's what you're willing to endure that others aren't. It's not, I want to be a digital artist. It's, I can endure being a digital artist. I can handle the pains that come with drawing on Procreate. I can endure looking for commissions from VTubers. I can do all the stuff that other people aren't willing to do. Even if my art isn't better than theirs, they aren't willing to go through the pain that I am. And this simple change in the question, what do I want to do, to what can I endure, will reveal so many questions, will answer so many questions. It will lay out your boundaries of what I can and what I cannot do. Because once you know what kind of pain you can tolerate, you can almost check off and like cross out the things that you can or cannot do. Let's say you're really good at physical endurance, but you're stupid as hell. You can cross off all the things that require mental tolerance and then circle the things that require physical endurance. You're like 15 years old. When you're this young, you shouldn't overthink it. Just do something and change it if it doesn't work. Because your purpose changes every few months anyways. And after this chapter is the next. And after this layer is the next layer. Your purpose isn't something to be looked for like a treasure chest. You're not a pirate looking for gold. Stop asking for a core purpose when you haven't even gone through your first purpose. And this is what a fictional novel taught me about real world purpose.